So in this video, I'm going to walk you through creating a scatter plot and then determining the correlation R after we do that, and also putting in a trend line. So this video is focused on the desktop version of Excel. So this is not the Office 365 web-based application. This is the standalone, the real hardcore application here. So you can see here I have some data, some very, very simple data, the temperature in Celsius in ice cream sales. I think we went through this today already, so this should look pretty familiar to you. So to make a scatter plot, it's the same as a pie chart or a bar chart as far as how you start doing that. So I select the data that I want to make a scatter plot for. I go up here to insert, and then I go and in this charts area here, you can see there's a option for scatter chart, and if I click on it, you can see there's lots of options, but this is the one we want, the very simple one. So here we have our ice cream sales. And the big difference here is, number one, there's more functions, but also there's this plus sign on the side of the chart that it just created. And that doesn't exist in the web-based version of Excel. Or even the iPad app, I don't think has this. So here's my data. I want to change some stuff. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to click the plus sign, and I want to add some titles for the axis. So it just put these generic titles in. If I click on the title and then select all of the text in that title, I can rename this. So this could be temperature, and then undo the same thing on this data, this label here. I can say that this is sales. So now I have a nicely formatted or nicely labeled chart. So when someone out of the blue comes and looks at this, they can they know exactly what they're looking at. So the other thing too is, if you really want to go pretty, you can do all kinds of charts that are just a little bit more fancy than what we have here. What we have here is just a run-of-the-mill. So it's totally up to you. I'm kind of privy to the shadows, but anyway, so I now want to put a trend line in. And the way we do that is we hit the plus sign, and there's an option here for trend line. So I'm going to check that box, and I'm also going to go to more options. Now it defaults to a linear trend line, and that's really the only trend line that we're going to use in this course. So we might use the linear forecast, but we're definitely not using exponential. So if I go to more options here, I can actually change the color of the trend line. I can there we go. I can change the color. If I want it to be a solid line, I can do that. I can do all of those things here. And if I click on these, so this is the formatting symbol here. This is just effects that you can put on the trend line itself. You can make a shadow, for example, but I'm not going to get into that. So we're going to go to this last tab, which is the data tab, and this is where we can select whether it's linear or some other trend line option. We're just using linear, as I said. I can give it a name if I want. Right now it's just a linear ice cream sales, but I can put a custom name in there if I want. And so here is really where the interesting data is. So you can see here there's an option to display equation on the chart. If I click that, the equation of the line, I'm just moving this to somewhere where you can actually see it. This is the equation of the line. So you can see y equals, and this is the slope, mx, and then this is minus the y-intercept here, which is negative 159.4 5947. So if I were to extend this line all the way down, it would go down to, it would cross this y-axis at 159.47 negative. So that's one piece of information that I have. The second piece, and I think we lost the trend line focus. Here we are. If you ever lose the focus, just click on the thing that you are working on. So in our case, we're working on the trend line. So the second option is this display r-squared value on the chart. So this is our correlation. And you can see here it's 0.9168. Now, if you don't need to do a graph, which hopefully I'm kind of encouraging you to use a graph because it really helps when you're doing an analysis. But if you are using Office Online and you don't have access to it, you can actually figure out the correlation programmatically as well. So I can use a function. So if I type equals in an empty cell, and now I'm going to start typing correlation. And you can see right away it pairs us down to this function here, coral. So if I double click on that, it's looking for two data sets. That's what array 1 and array 2 means. So we're going to make the first data set this piece of data, and then we're going to put a comma, and then we're going to get the second data set here. And you see they're two different colors, and that's just to differentiate that one is one array and the other one is the second array. So now I end the parentheses and I click return, and you can see here I get 0.96 for my correlation. So this is the R value. This is R squared, so you have to be careful about about some of these numbers, but we're most interested in this number here, the correlation R. So that is how you do trend lines and correlation in Excel desktop.